I run NLP courses, I run residential retreats. So I have about 10 or 12 people staying with me for 5 or 6 days, and we go through a lot of sessions on neuro-linguistic programming. And what I realized was that even though we do a best course and we offer many sessions, at the end of it, the participants will come back to say that we could have had more of this, we could have had more of that, I was expecting this, and yeah, what we got is great, but these are some things that would be in need. So whatever the best you could deliver, still you would have some kind of needs which are not met for some people in the course. So one of the key things that I did after S3 is that I give a few sessions, and then I ask the participants to design the rest of the program, after S3. And then I give them half an hour, and they all come back to say, okay, we need more of this, and we come back, and after at the end of the half an hour, they give me the proposal of, okay, this is how the session should be. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they are still in the discussion. And then when I ask them whether this is really group's need or the person who has been taking the lead, and then we figure out that was not very equivalent and all that, then I teach them a little consent decision making, and then I guide them through that process. And then I give them the same option to go back and design the process, and they come back very quick. And then I ask them what's the value of this process. Then they come back to say that everybody participated and everybody liked it. And from then on, we together design the entire training program. And people can object, and we can come in and I can object if I find that what they are asking is not serving their needs. And so by the end of it, there are no complaints. And we have done a much more precise job of what is needed to be dealt with. So that was the first place I experimented, and I really loved the experience. And now when I go for organizational consulting, when people call me for trainings and other things, when I look at them, one of the key areas which people feel a lot of relief is that when I say you can object, and then I tell them that from the framework of S3, objection is more like a gift that is waiting to surface in your consciousness for the benefit of the group that we are in. They are almost like, wow, because basically what's happening in our country or maybe in Southeast Asia possibly is that we have a parenting where we are constantly fed to say yes. Respect to elders is to say yes, and we have been living like that for centuries now. And now to come back to say that you can tell a no is like a big relief for some people, and like a shock for some people, that we could say no. And the value of it is I'm also seeing it in my own family, that when I am involving my daughter in the decision making and my wife in the decision making, and when anybody can object to what's going on and the decisions, there is much more harmony in the family rather than one elder person doing everything and the same thing of others complaining about it at a later period, because this has been a cultural thing that's happening in our cultures. So recently I worked with an organization where we are talking about this whole concept, and then I was trying to make a rule or a proposal to say that this is what I wanted to go ahead with, and somebody said very nervously and very kind of like, I'm going to object to this. And I was really like, I'm looking for you. And please give me the wisdom, and this is how the Sociocracy session will happen. And everybody was like, wow, that we can speak out, So when we brought out this format, the feedback that I got after a week was that it was always useful to learn something which is immediately implementable, and they were immediately practicing it.